Hey guys, it's Noah from Knights of 67, and today I will be bringing you a guide of Kor'kron Dark Shaman, the second boss that was available for testing for Siege of Orgrimmar raid. Now, this fight was very fun, but it was very healer intensive, and it was very important that everyone in the raid pays attention, or something could go terribly wrong. It was very highly tuned up, as every one of these fights in early testing is, so sorry we couldn't get some of the later phases to happen, but I am going to explain it all in high detail and everything of the sort. So I hope this guide is helpful enough for all of you. And don't worry about us bringing them out at the beginning. They should be outside the building come live anyway. So with that said, I hope this guide is going to be helpful enough for you, and I hope you guys enjoy, because I had a lot of fun making it. Okay, so we go ahead and we bring the bosses out here to tank, and the first thing you want to do is you want to DPS down both wolves. Both wolves do unnecessary amounts of damage and a lot of it, so considering this fight is very damage heavy indeed, you want to bring the wolves down as quickly as possible. Shouldn't be very difficult. They only have 12.6 million, so just bring them down as quickly as possible, and then move on to the two bosses. Now, both bosses have Spirit Link health, which means they share the same health pool, so it doesn't really matter which one you attack in particular, but I can tell you right now, if you're a melee, you want to be attacking Earthbreaker Harome. The reason is, Wavebinder Cardress does plenty of AoE abilities right on top of her that hit for a lot of damage, so if you're a melee, it will hit you very hard indeed. So you want to be on Earthbreaker Harome, where you are going to take significantly less damage and just move out of the way of a few things along the way. With that being said, let's get into the main fight mechanics. Now, there are three major totems that these shaman will bring up. Poison Mist Totem is the first totem that shall be brought up. At 90% health, it will be summoned. Earthbreaker Harome will gain the ability Toxic Mist. Toxic Mist is a debuff that he will put on a random player. It will tick for about 90k at the beginning, and it will keep ticking higher and higher because it will give you a debuff called Toxicity. Toxicity increases nature damage taken by 10% per stack. That is why the damage keeps stacking. Indeed, as far as I'm concerned, the ability Toxic Mist is undispellable, so you are just going to have to heal through it, healers. I'm sorry that's very unfortunate, but you're just going to need to heal through it. It ticks every 3 seconds for 30 seconds. So if you have it, make sure to call it out in your Ventrilo, TeamSpeak, whatever it is that you have, and let the healers know that you have it. Pop any damage reducing cooldowns that you may have. Now, Wavebinder Cardress will gain the ability Toxic Storm from Poison Mist Totem. Toxic Storm will obviously be a giant purple storm cloud. It will tick for 200k every 2 seconds you are standing in it, which is why, as a melee, even though despite what I'm doing on screen, you don't want to stand near her, and I learned this lesson the hard way. This is why you don't want to stand near her, because it will be very hard to DPS her down. The Toxic Storm will create Toxic Tornadoes. They will wander around, purple tornadoes. They tick for 200k, as well as launch you up in the air, so you do want to avoid them at all costs. The storms and the tornadoes move around for 2 minutes in the fight, and I believe she could summon them after that as well. Now, at 80%, they will summon the second totem, Foul Stream Totem. Earthbreaker Harome will gain the ability Foul Stream. It will be a line of what looks like slime or just green lines in general. It will tick for 300k, and the target that he selects will have an arrow above their head. So if you do, make sure to get away from the rest of the raid. And if for some reason they don't, just make sure you move out of the way, or you will get ticked for 300k. Wavebinder Cardress will gain the ability Foul Geyser from this totem. She will create essentially foul water that ticks for 300k every 0.5 seconds for 8 seconds if you are near her. Again, why you don't want to be attacking her if you are a melee DPS. Only the tank should be on her. She creates foul slime every time she does this ability, and the foul slimes must be DPS down by the ranged DPS in particular. It must be ranged because they give off an aura that ticks for 100k damage right around them. So if you're melee, again, you really can't hit them. So range DPS need to work very, very hard in order to DPS them down. AoE, single target, it really doesn't matter, but you must bring them down as quickly as possible. Now, at 70%, the third and final totem will be summoned, Ash Flare Totem. Ash Flare Totem will let Earthbreaker Harome get the ability Ashen Wall. Now, Ashen Wall will summon a line of Ash Elementals that must be taken care of immediately because they will do a ton of damage. So whether you're melee, whether you're ranged, you want to get on them immediately and DPS them down as quickly as possible. In contrast, you must watch out for Wavebinder Cardress's ability, which she gains from Ash Flare Totem, which she gains the ability Falling Ash. Now, this ability is very, very deadly and must be watched with great precaution, or something very, very unfortunate could happen to your raid group. It falls for 30 seconds, and when it falls after the 30 seconds, it will hit everyone in the raid for 200k damage. Doesn't seem like that big a deal, right? Well, here's the catch, of course. As it is falling, if you are in the vicinity of it, it will hit you for 1 million damage if you are standing in the way. So you want to make sure to get out of the way, otherwise it will one-shot you, and obviously that is not good. So you want to watch out for Falling Ash ability. At 30%, they will hit Bloodlust. This will increase their attack power, damage, and haste by 30%. And you want to just be able to heal through it, pop all your healing CDs, pop all your cooldowns as a damage dealer, everything of the sort, and they should be downed after that remaining 30%. So that's all this fight has to offer. Sorry you couldn't see the Ash abilities, but what are you going to do? So I hope this guide was helpful enough for all of you, and I will see you guys next time.